All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, Episode 4. Okay.
They've decided on the animation.
They've decided on making an anime girl fight a tank.
Yep.
And they've decided on how many frames they want to be spending their time working on here, and then how detailed of frames per second do they want to get into here as well.
They're doing twos, and it's going to be 3 minutes of animation total. Gas mask and a machete for the girl.
Yep.
And
a pretty open environment that will probably have a lot of destruction involved as well.
Definitely.
So that's going to be probably one of the other crazier parts of the animation as well.
Right.
Having that stay consistent whenever they go from thing to thing. But they're trying to make it look cool. So, Kanamori's keeping them on task of saying, like, hey, we need this to look good, not necessarily be perfect. So, let's stay on track here. They have their setup as to, like, where they'll be doing this and how they'll be doing this, but I think they still need a bit more equipment, a few more things probably in order to make this happen.
Did they actually get around to properly patching the roof? Or did they get completely distracted? I can't quite.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Because the whole roof might not even be necessary. It might just be the parts
like
above
one
where they
area.
actually do their drawings and stuff. But they've got a goal, and they've got the steps basically started to be plotted out as to how they're going to do this. Right. But now we're going to need to get into the nitty gritty. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. There's the machete. Yeah. You're gonna need to drop something really hard onto a bunch of dirt and see. Oh, okay. Cool.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Nice.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
PC room. Okay.
When does Kanamori say, like, there's something fundamentally wrong?
Yeah. Oh. Wait. Oh no. Number 6. Oh, the same one.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh jeez. With what magic? There you go, there you go. Yes, ma'am. All right. This is awesome. The way Kanamori is basically fulfilling the role of kind of like the director-manager, where she's like, yes, that shit. Get me more of that in my veins.
Let's pad this. Yeah.
I just want to be able to do this one. Like, this is my favorite one. Like,
it really is the best.
Like, that's the best one.
Oh man, how much you want to bet that it, like, well, not that there are going to be any cons for a while, but when there are, that there will be a bunch of people that do this dance.
Of course. Yeah, that's why these dances are here. It's for us, you know? I mean, they're really there just probably because the animators had so much fun with the characters, and they're just like, I want to see them do goofy dances.
Easy, well, and it's also kind of meta too, because there were, you know, the moves that they were doing were a cycle for like the poses, you know?
Ah, the greatest camera. Yep, rotate. Done. Get it out of there. Oh. How? Ah, very cool. Whoa. Dang. Very cool. Wow. Okay. Right. Aww. Oh, Asukasa's like, but let's do this. Yeah. Bluff our way through. All right. Is someone else gonna recognize her? Oh. Wow, yeah. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, but reality. Yep. Oh. Start outsourcing work. Yep. Oh, yeah. I like how everything's shifted into panic mode, and it's like, how are they actually going to make this, you know, get finished here? Right. Hey. Like, I kind of recognize the software, even if I have never actually used this exact, you know, software, but oh, this is cool. Okay. All right. Full compromise. Yeah. Okay. Good job, Superman. Wow. And this is just where the grind just you know just keep going, yeah. A little meager bit of milk or something.
Yeah, probably.
Really late and they're still here. Oh. Oh.
終わるとか完成するとかではなく、魂を込めた妥協と諦め。
The last cut's a real humdinger. That was a beautiful sequence of lines there.
Yeah.
No, but that's what it is. It is a trailer.
It's already...
Wow. Ah. Ooh. Jeez. They have an early sunrise in Japan then.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Kanamori's got this. Yep. What the hell? This is denied. Yep. Yep. Objection! All right. Riot police and everything. Yeah. Wow. Really? Well,
まだありますよ。兄犬から苦情が来てるんですよ。部設会の上映中に映像犬が大取り物。問題ねって根拠は？根拠？そんなもん聞いてどうしようってんです？予算の審議をしてやろうってんだよ。今んとこ映像犬はパブリックエネミー。
Oh my gosh. You're approaching me. What the heck? With the bazooka and everything too. Yeah. But you can't expect us to fall for that, yeah. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, no, 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 no! Yeah. Everyone stopped. Yeah. Yeah, that is actually right. Even like the riot stopped. Oh. Oh. they're completely arrested by it. Wow.
Awesome.
Nice, then just tilt the camera.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's where the majority of their work went. Right there. Right there. That little bit. That was... And then, this part. Yep. Right.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, this is so awesome. Oh, they actually got able to do the grappling hook.
Oh,
whoa!
All right.
Whoa! Oh, this is awesome.
This is fantastic. And you can see the little things where, like, you know, they maybe cut corners here and there, but
you can see also some of the original storyboarding that they were wanting to do actually.
Nice.
Oh my god. And get your explosion.
Yep. Nice. Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. What will they use it for?
Oh, this is such a good feeling. Oh,
this is awesome.
Approved.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Wow, we went through the whole time of actually doing it in one episode.
So that was 4 episodes. What's gonna be the end of the show?
Right. Like and like. Oh my gosh. I think what's wonderful about this is that the world of this production process and stuff is one where you're definitely not going to be able to unsee kind of the specific things that you learn about it from a specific way, but in some ways also, if you're not in the production process at all, you can be like these people in the audience who are just, whoa, I'm thrown into this experience that immerses me so much, and then I completely forget that I'm even here.
Right.
And that's really wholesome if you think about it, like just that they get to have that. And yeah.
And I love that over the course of the animation, like, not only did it like come to life in the room, but it took color, you know, like all these things that they were thinking would be a big problem ended up not being a problem for the people watching.
Right. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god. This was an incredible episode. We got to see the fruits of the labors of the club, these 3 girls.
Yep.
But what we also got to see, I'd say, a little bit is the panic, struggle, and adjustments that need to be made when you realize that in the production process you're not able to actually make your deadline within this. Right. And that's so fun to see how they as characters respond to this, but it's also something that, like, I don't know as much kind of the stuff about, like, what they're talking about as the things that, like, what would be a corner that they would have to cut necessarily, other than what they kind of showed us here. But the idea of being in a project where something must be done at this specific time.
Yep.
that's something that I don't feel like I have still even the grid to be able to see when that was a thing that happened for some kind of a production or not. But I feel like over the course of this show, I'll be able to at least get a little bit of a tell with regards to that, because I think I've only noticed the complete breakdown of something when it wasn't able to be kind of finished properly, you know, a couple times in my life. But I would love to kind of have in some ways the curtain pulled back and realize, oh no, that, all those other things there done very rudimentarily, and you would never have known because I'm like one of the people in the audience, basically.
Right. Well, and by contrast, as a result of that, then you can better appreciate when all the effort is put into everything, because
like the schedule just flows properly.
Right, exactly. We can better understand the miracle that is anime. But the whole thing of that panic that you were talking about in the sort of the pre-production, or getting everything ready, right?
Right.
I love that, because the thing that I always wanted to see with something like this is what happens when tensions get high and people are putting their heart and souls into this and blood, sweat, and tears and everything, and then something needs to give. Right?
Yeah.
There needs to be compromises in different areas, and because this is such a passion project for multiple people, and they all have to be working together on this.
Right.
What happens when sacrifices have to be made? Right. The whole thing between Tsubume and Kanamori, where it was like, no, I want it all to be hand drawn. I want it to look as good as it can be. And Kanamori's like, well, we need to actually get this done. So, well, I guess these are the things that we'll have to do. And there wasn't, I'm a big fan of those lingering moments where time is spent to just sort of let something sink in. This show didn't really do that, and it still worked wonderfully, right? Kanamori goes and is like, all right, I'll see if I can get the art club to help out. Nope, they can't, and she goes and starts, stamping the holes or whatever in the cuts. And Tsubume can tell, this is because I basically said, I'm on it my way or the highway, I'm not going to budge on this. Okay, all right, I'll compromise. Let's work through this and make something. That's the most important thing, right?
Right. And I don't even think they had 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think that one of the things that they would maybe be a little bit vague about in the episode, and this was something I thought they were going to do, was that they wouldn't actually show 3 minutes of animation, but let's just go out on a limb here and say, no, it actually wasn't 3 minutes of their animation, even though we didn't see 3 minutes of actual time spent on it, because they actually went and did it this way. So it was actually closer to 100 seconds or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Because the amount of stuff they were able to do in terms of what they originally planned for it, I would say was most of the stuff towards the end. And even then, you could see a couple of the things they were doing with the camera work kind of stuff, and then the little loops that they would do and stuff. And knowing that all those weren't a problem, the way they talked about it in a previous episode, I think it was 2 episodes ago, where they were saying it's just on the edge of becoming annoying, basically, when you do those triple pans or looping the backgrounds and stuff like that.
The zoom ins,
yeah, exactly. It reminds me. I didn't mention this before, but it reminds me of Berserk 1997 a lot,
right?
Because that's one of my favorite anime that doesn't have an incredible amount of animation. It's not known necessarily for the amount of actual detailed movements of the art.
Yeah, when it's going budget at a part, it's very recognizable. Yeah,
right. And it does have some pretty cool character animation at specific parts, but by and by, for the most part, it's rather simple.
Yeah.
And yet the things that everyone kind of touts, I would say, with Berserk 1997 that is wonderful is the actual emotion they're able to get across through the art, because it's Miura's art, it's amazing, but also the music, which can make even the most basic of scenes that you're seeing in front of you that much more engaging. It's so powerful. So for things like this, where it's oh, you know, the animation is them just kind of going through an environment that's just kind of looping or something like that. Well, you're only in that cut for about 4 or 5 seconds or something. So by the time your brain is starting to catch on, like, wait a minute, you're already into something else. And that was like one of their constant tricks that they used every once in a while. Because I remember there was even a point when she's like running up the cliffside. She just stops running on the way up.
Oh, really?
Like the animation freezes for like a half second and then they cut really quickly.
Oh, wow.
After that. I'm trying to remember if I know, like, if I could find exactly where it happened here. I think it was actually right here. Yep, did you see that? So, like, right here. She's running up, and it shows the cannon fire, like, going over their heads and stuff, and then the targeting reticle.
Yeah.
And I actually think, like, this little shot they did here,
where she's, like, zipping along.
Yeah, that was pretty legit.
That was awesome.
But, like, see there?
Oh, yeah, it was just kind of like taking that image and just...
she stopped and then she just teleported it in a little bit. Like, and then it cut really quickly. But like little things like that where that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
And I love this as well because I have no problem being one of the people in the audience and just going, whoa. Yeah. I have no idea how that worked, but it's wonderful. And yet, over the course of the show, we're going to maybe have at least a little bit of an eye to where we'll be able to go, oh, there's that thing they mentioned in episode 3.
Right, yeah.
And in some ways, it's kind of fun not having all that info, right? Like, I don't want to know too much after this show's over.
Right, you don't want to get it... you don't want to completely bog down things, right, with details and whatnot. But you still want to get the emotional expression of it. Like the whole thing that we skipped over the 2 months pretty quickly, right? Because what they're doing is very simple, right? They're working their asses off. And you know, we can assume that, and then it also fills in a little bit with things like Tsubume, you know, putting the Band-Aids on her fingers and being back at home and going, still flipping through everything and seeing all the stains on her hands and everything. And then Kanamori coming in at 4 a.m. To the school. Like,
get things prepped. I think what you could maybe infer from this is that they basically animated the key parts in order to give you the feeling of them working on this giant project without actually showing every single bit of the giant project. It's almost as if, like, we don't need to see that level of detail in order to get the actual feeling across.
It's wonderful. Like, so... This feels very a place for the universe for me, and like, I mean, I think we commented on it, like maybe even in the first episode.
Yeah, it's got passion and energy.
It's got that passion, energy, and something where it makes me want to do things, right?
Not necessarily animation,
not necessarily animation, right? But stuff, right?
You want to create,
And I feel like a lot of the times the reasons that I certainly don't, and I think this is true for a lot of people, is there's that doubt that the efforts will actually result in something worthwhile. And that's why the arguments between, you know, the girls as they're making the stuff and they're trying to figure out what they'll actually be able to do. It really hurts because then it's, well, then what was all this effort for if I can't actually get the thing that I was hoping to get out of this, right?
Well, that was why Kanamori was there. She was basically saying it's a means to an end. I don't care actually whether or not you like this necessarily. I do care that you're having fun and your passions are being able to be expressed here. But we're doing this to get the budget so that you can do the stuff that you want to do at will. And then once we're doing that, then we're not going to take it easy necessarily, but then you'll have the resources to basically justify the time that you want to spend on these specific things. And that's, I think, something that is rather exciting when you think about any kind of project like this where you get kind of the ball rolling. The initial bits where you start, you're going to look back on and cringe because that's basically what they did immediately after the thing was done. Like Asukasa was like, that was actually pretty hard to watch. That's something that's really important to acknowledge because every bit of work that you put into it evolves not only who you are, but you then are able to look back on that and go, oh yeah, actually, if I just had a little bit more time and a little bit more resources, that little part there could have been amazing.
Yep.
And the thing is that if you're just willing to make that little step of progress here and there,
right,
those things will end up actually just being a thing.
Right. Just keep working, keep doing it and you'll get better.
Yeah, in writing, it's essentially the thing of don't be an editor when you're working.
Right.
Just write. Write really shitty stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just keep doing it. Like, if anything, that's, the whole practice makes perfect thing. There's no such thing as perfect, but the idea that the act of actually doing it is more important than the quality of it. And in this, it doesn't really translate over perfectly, but the act of them actually putting their passions into creating something that isn't necessarily going to look good to them, but it's going to look good to others, has to be amazing for their feedback to be able to go, oh my God, that actually worked. Imagine what we could do if we had funding. And I loved how the girl in the student council was basically the same thing. It was just like, they're going to do this with or without funding. What would happen if they got funding?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Like, approved. That was wonderful because especially in something like this, right, where the girls are thinking of like, we're trying to make anime, basically, right? So we're seeing this and we're comparing it to anime. And there's all the things that, that they're like, oh, yeah, we could have done this better. We could have done that better. We could have done such and such better. But then you've got the student council and then all the other kids there, and it's basically like they've just been having to put up with all these awful presentations that come up, right? And then all of a sudden, something comes up where there's actually a lot of passion and effort put behind it. Yep. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Well, hold on now.
Right.
That actually interests me. Like, genuinely interests me. I'm glad I was here today, right?
Yep.
Instead of it being just do they have a legitimate enough excuse for us to be able to say, sure, why not? Here's your funding, right?
Right. And to contrast that with the previous group who was showing their passion through words rather than action. This is an example of where they don't know. None of the people that are involved here know how much time or effort they put into this. All they know is that there was time and effort put into it because it's more than just words. It's just, look at what we did.
Right.
That's it. I feel like that's one of the things that separates passion being respected and not respected.
Sure.
Is when you come to someone and you have a lot of passion for something and you just start talking about it. Immediately what they go and do is basically say, well, I acknowledge that you have that passion, but I can't attach myself or my passion to your words. They are just words until I am able to translate them. But if you create a medium, if you use some kind of medium that is...
so that they can latch onto it as well.
Objectively separate from you, they then go, oh, I don't have to interpret it the way that person wants me to interpret it. It's just an independent thing. I can interpret it however I want. Then they're free to actually consume it and go, oh, yeah, I still don't see as much of the interest that you have in it as opposed to where it is for me, because this is also a bit unrealistic a lot of times with how positive the reception is. Now this can definitely happen, but oftentimes there's situations where you just get people who are like, yeah, that's really cool. That was cool. Yeah. And then there's also the people who are basically like the people that will unknowingly just kind of put their foots in their mouth by being like, like it was pretty mediocre. I've seen better, and they go into the criticism of stuff where they don't even know what they're talking about, really. So there's that.
Yeah.
But this is just really powerful. And then this episode was also hella funny. Like, there was so many funny moments in this. And it wasn't just Kanamori being Kanamori and the best girl of them all. And then Mizusaki just also like just going for it, just being like, I really want to do this, and really like the emotion from this, and then seeing like the cuts and stuff and scuffing her fingers and stuff and the hard work with this. And then Asukasa's just faces in the background.
Wait, what? You're telling me that Wait,
we're gonna outsource this?
We're gonna outsource it, and we're not gonna have like the story in it. And wait, what? Hold on. But then also things like as much as there was like the conflict and the compromise over like how much detail can we put into this.
Right.
I really appreciate that. Then there was able to be. Because, okay, compromise involves both sides being able to contribute and understanding each other, right?
Totally.
It wasn't something where Suzume had to end up just agreeing with Kanamori.
True.
Suzume was still able to look at, like, the skirt flapping and being like, wait a minute, what if we added one more frame? There we go. That'll really make it look good, you know, especially since it's a close-up and things like that. Something where her desire to add more detail to the work, there was a way to apply it effectively and practically, you know. And those shots of the stacks of the cuts where it's like, this is a regular cut. Here's our first 4 cuts. What seems to be the problem here?
Yeah.
You know.
I also love that, you know, Kanamori wasn't able to fully, you know, stop the wild mob with the student council and also the teachers and stuff, and it required Asukasa to channel I don't even know. I want to say that there might have been like some like Gaelic inspiration in there or something. Like
I want to say that it was maybe something where it was like sort of the, like, I don't know where Asukasa is from within Japan, but like the equivalent of like country bumpkin kind of like talk where it's like, you know, but the American equivalent of going all southerner on somebody.
But you know, it was even more than that, because she started out with like an you know, like which is like for crying out loud, like is this Gaelic or something? Like, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it reminds me of the meme of the girl that's like, I'm not a fucking reprobate, you know?
Oh my god. There's been some beautiful scenes in anime that I've watched recently, like in Kaguya, but this was something special.
Yeah.
Just a rant to end all rants. And then I love that the one girl's like, it translates it perfectly. Don't complain about our methods. Just watch the final product.
Yeah. That felt very Famofu.
It was fantastic.
And things like being like, oh, let's use the software to automatically do the in-betweening. You know, for the interpolation between the frames, because we can't actually draw them all. That'll be too crazy. Yep. And hey, if we do that, we'll actually get some more freedom with how we do things, you know, because it's being generated. I thought that was a really cool thing to bring up, because there were so many things in this where I never would have thought of that. And then it's like, oh yeah, the actual pictures that are being drawn that you then have to scan into the computer, but then you have to clean up the lines, because in order to use it in an actual, like, you know, like in order to just fill color here, fill color there and stuff, the lines might not connect perfectly, right? There might be all kinds of things that you need to do to clean up to actually make something. Like that, I'd never really thought about that before, but totally makes sense.
But this was very cathartic to see the actual like full final product go through.
Yeah.
And then the line of the episode,
my god, yes.
That is absolutely the best line of the whole dang show thus far.
Yeah.
And to say it's not about being done or wrapping things up, but releasing a love-filled kidney stone of compromise and resignation.
That is... Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so true. No, so... All right. So I'm just going to go on a little bit of a rant here.
Yep.
So, as you may know, I wrote a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. That one sentence there, I feel that on a spiritual level. Because... so many things where it's like, towards the end, it's just a love-filled kidney stone, you know, and you just have to pass it and get it out, you know. of compromise and resignation, where it's like you put everything you have into it, but you know it's not perfect. It's not a perfect model baby, but you gotta shove it out and see what people think. You gotta pass it, right?
Yep.
And oh my God.
I think that does translate very well to any kind of difficult creative work.
Yeah, like that this was made by the people that make this stuff. Like that it is very much a passion project because of lines like this, right? Where it's like, yep, that's not just
how it feels.
That's not just a cool sounding fictional sentence, right? That's a personal experience.
That's a personal reality.
Yeah, right. And it's like,
yeah, definitely.
Oh man.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff. But wow. Incredible, fantastic episode. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. You can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. If you want to check out my love-filled kidney stone called Battle Lines, it's on Amazon. Link is in the description down below.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.